Kama wewe umefanya what you have done, step aside. If you are proved clean, come back. If you are proved guilty, the law will take
its course.
On the one hand, they spend their time saying this president is doing nothing about corruption. Then when we do something about corruption, then they say, oh, now you should not have done that because you should have waited for the investigative arms to do so. Sasa mnataka nifanya nini jamani?
The Director of Public Prosecutions, the police and other institutions in the multi-agency team against corruption are on the move, and they are making decisive steps to build strong cases for the prosecution of corrupt officials. Their work will bear fruit when the judiciary also responds by ensuring the frivolous and obstructive use of the court system to avoid responsibility will no longer be allowed. I welcome the assurance of the judiciary's leadership yesterday that they are with the rest of government and all Kenyans in this war for our integrity as a country. I am glad that the rest of senior officials have been made, and I can tell you that there are more on the way. I want officials, particularly senior ones, who are directly implicated in corruption to have no place in my administration, and for them to go where they belong, which is in jail.
I cannot fire somebody until proven guilty. I myself have gone through a process, of being accused falsely, right? So why should I now go and mimi sio judge, mimi sio prosecutor? Kama wewe umefanya what you have done, step aside. If you are proved clean, come back. If you are proved guilty, the law will take
its course.
If you look at the way the arrests happen in this country, so swift. But when you ask for charges to be preferred, because if they arrested these persons in the morning, we've asked the DCI to go ahead and charge them in court. They are not ready to charge them in court this afternoon. They are saying until tomorrow. It's a clear indication that the process of arresting and the process of between the arrest and charging an individual is perhaps being acutely abused, because the intention, they know very well that ultimately these people will be free, but it's important that they are punished in the interim, which is unfortunate. And therefore, my conclusion in this, in what I have seen, is that we are not fighting corruption. What is happening is that we are lying to the citizen of Kenya that we are fighting corruption. We are creating a narrative that is meant to show that there is an ongoing fight against corruption in this country, when in reality, the evidence on the ground and the games behind the scenes, looking at the people who have been arrested, looking at the people who have been left out, looking at the nature of the arrest, looking at the excuses being given, including the projects that are being undermined, I have come to the conclusion that we are just exercising PR stunts to lie to the people of Kenya that we are fighting corruption, and to have this purported acceptability of the public that in this country we are fighting corruption, when in reality we are playing politics of PR to the people of Kenya. I want to ask Kenyans this, because I know there are so many people out there who will say, oh, Murkomen came out to speak, or because this project is in his own county. Yes, it is true. It's because these projects are in my county. But because also I can see the deliberate injustice that is being meted on the people of Elgeyo Marakwet County by killing these projects just to satisfy short-term political interest. And I want to dare Kenyans that to keep this in history, when the final decision will be made on this case, and when the trial begins, and when evidence is going to be provided in court, I shall be proven right in the fullness of time. For now, I want to tell all our critics that you may say, oh, you know, we are defending corruption, we are doing this. But being people who believe in the rule of law, and the lawyer I am, I can tell you for sure, in the fullness of time, I will be proven right that this was not about fight corruption, but it was just merely PR stance to demonstrate that, oh, you know, Kenya is serious, minister can be arraigned in court, we are ready to arraign big people in court, when the facts on the ground do not support the purported fight against corruption. That is all I can say. Asanteni sana.
Consequently, I have today directed the DCI to effect the arrest and immediate arraignment before court of the accused persons named below herein. 1. Henry Kiplagat Rotich, Cabinet Secretary, National Treasury. Kamau Thuge, Principal Secretary, National Treasury. Dr. Susan Jemtai Koech, Principal Secretary, Ministry of East African Community. David Kipchumba Kimosop, Managing Director, Kerio Valley Development Authority. Kennedy Nyakundi Nyachiro, Chief Economist and Head of Europe 2 Division, National Treasury. Jackson Njao Kinyanjui, Director, Resource Mobilization Department, National Treasury. Titus Murithi, Inspector General of State Corporations. Paolo Poselli, Director, CMC de Ravenna. CMC de Ravenna Itinerary Joint Venture, Italy. CMC de Ravenna Itinerary Joint Venture, Kenya. William Kipkemboi Maina, Head of Supply Chain Management, KVDA. Paul Kipkoech Serem, Manager Engineering Services, KVDA. Francis Chepkonga Kipkech, Tender Committee, KVDA. Samuel Kimutai Koskei, Tender Committee, KVDA. David Juma Onyango, Tender Committee, KVDA. Patrick Kipto, Tender Committee, KVDA. Elizabeth Kebenei, Tender Committee, KVDA. Esther Jepchirchir Kiror, Tender Committee, KVDA. Moses Kipchumba, Ad Hoc Technical and Financial Evaluation Committee, 2, KVDA. Engineer Nelson Korir, Ad Hoc Technical and Financial Evaluation Committee, 2, KVDA. Engineer Isaac M. Kiiru, Ad Hoc Technical, Financial and Evaluation Committee, Team 2, KVDA. Engineer Patrick Kipsang, Ad Hoc Technical and Financial Evaluation Committee, Team 2, KVDA. Frederick Towet, Ad Hoc Technical and Financial Evaluation Committee, Team 2, KVDA. Jotham Ruto, Ad Hoc Technical Financial Evaluation Committee, Team 2, KVDA. Charity Mui, Ad Hoc Technical and Financial Evaluation Committee, Team 2, KVDA. Geoffrey Mwangi Wahungu, CEO, National Environment Management Authority. David Walunya Ongare, National Environment Management Authority. Boniface Mamboleo Lengisho, National Environment Management Authority. For the following offenses. 1. Conspiracy to defraud contrary to Section 317 of the Penal Code, Cap 63, Laws of Kenya. Failure to comply with applicable procedures and guidelines relating to procurement contrary to Section 45 2B as read with Section 48 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act No. 3 of 2003, engaging in a project without prior planning contrary to Section 45 2C as read with Section 48 of Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act No. 3 of 2003, abuse of office contrary to Section 46 as read with Section 48 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act No. 3 of 2003, committing an offense of financial misconduct contrary to Section 197(1) or I of the Public Finance Management Act No. 18 of 2012, fraudulent acquisition of public property contrary to Section 45(1)(a) as read with Section 48 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act 2003, knowingly giving a misleading document to principal contrary to Section 41(2) as read with Section 48 of Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act No. 3 of 2003 of the Laws of Kenya, willful neglect to perform official duty contrary to Section 128 as read with Section 36 of the Penal Code. I am cognizant of the principle of innocence until proven guilty, the determination of which can only be made